The conflict between Israel and Palestine is deeply complex and multifaceted, with roots stretching back over a century. Here are some key reasons behind the ongoing conflict.
Historical context. The conflict has its roots in the late 19th and early 20th centuries, with the rise of Jewish nationalism, Zionism, and Palestinian Arab nationalism amidst the decline of the Ottoman Empire. This period saw increased Jewish immigration to Palestine, which was then under Ottoman and later British rule. Partition and creation of Israel. After World War I, the League of Nations granted Britain a mandate to administer Palestine. In 1947, the United Nations proposed a partition plan to divide Palestine into separate Jewish and Arab states. While Jewish leaders accepted the plan, Arab leaders rejected it, leading to the 1948 Arab-Israeli War. Israel declared independence in 1948, leading to the displacement of hundreds of thousands of Palestinians, who became refugees. Territory and borders. The conflict revolves around competing claims to the same territory. Both Israelis and Palestinians assert historical and religious ties to the land, particularly Jerusalem, which is significant to Jews, Christians, and Muslims. Control over territory, including the West Bank, Gaza Strip, and East Jerusalem, remains a central point of contention. Settlements. Israel's construction of settlements in the West Bank, considered illegal under international law, has been a major source of tension. Settlement expansion has led to the displacement of Palestinians, increased friction, and hindered efforts for a two-state solution. Security concerns. Israel cites security concerns, including attacks by Palestinian militant groups such as Hamas and Islamic Jihad, as a justification for military operations and security measures, such as the construction of a barrier wall separating Israel from the West Bank. Palestinian statehood and rights. Palestinians seek an independent state in the West Bank and Gaza Strip, with East Jerusalem as its capital. They also advocate for the right of return for Palestinian refugees and equal rights for Palestinian citizens of Israel. Peace process and diplomacy. Efforts to resolve the conflict through diplomacy, including peace talks and mediation by international actors, have faced numerous obstacles. Disagreements over issues such as borders, refugees, security, and Jerusalem have hindered progress toward a comprehensive peace agreement. External factors. The conflict is influenced by regional and international dynamics, including the interests of neighboring states, regional power struggles, and geopolitical considerations. Support for Israel from Western countries, particularly the United States, and backing for the Palestinian cause from Arab and Muslim nations further complicate efforts to achieve peace. Religious and cultural significance. The land of Israel, Palestine holds profound religious and cultural significance for Jews, Christians, and Muslims alike. Jerusalem, in particular, is considered holy by all three Abrahamic religions, leading to competing claims and deep-seated attachments to the city. Water resources. Access to water resources, including the Jordan River and aquifers in the region, is a significant issue in the conflict. Control over water sources and distribution has been a source of tension between Israelis and Palestinians, particularly in areas with limited water availability. Israeli military occupation. Since the Six-Day War in 1967, Israel has maintained military control over the West Bank and Gaza Strip, leading to the establishment of Israeli settlements and the imposition of restrictions on Palestinian movement, access to resources, and economic development. The ongoing occupation is a source of resentment and resistance among Palestinians. Violence and retaliation. The conflict has been marked by cycles of violence, including armed attacks, bombings, rocket fire, and military operations by both sides. These acts of violence often lead to retaliatory measures, further exacerbating tensions and perpetuating a cycle of conflict. International law and human rights. The Israel-Palestine conflict raises important legal and human rights issues. including violations of international humanitarian law, occupation, settlement expansion, restrictions on freedom of movement, and the use of force against civilians. International condemnation of such violations has fueled calls for accountability and justice. Economic disparities. Palestinians in the West Bank and Gaza Strip face significant economic challenges, including high unemployment, poverty, and limited access to basic services. Economic disparities between Israelis and Palestinians contribute to social inequalities and exacerbate grievances, fueling resentment and unrest. Regional dynamics. The Israel-Palestine conflict is intertwined with broader regional dynamics, including conflicts between Israel and neighboring Arab states, the rise of Islamist movements, and the influence of regional powers such as Iran, Turkey, and Saudi Arabia. Regional instability and power struggles have both fueled and complicated efforts to resolve the conflict. In conclusion, the Israel-Palestine conflict is a deeply entrenched and multifaceted issue with historical, political, religious, and social dimensions. Rooted in competing claims to the same land, historical grievances, and contemporary geopolitical dynamics, the conflict has defied resolution for decades, resulting in profound human suffering, loss, and despair for both Israelis and Palestinians. Despite numerous attempts at peace negotiations, diplomatic initiatives, and ceasefires, the underlying issues remain unresolved, perpetuating cycles of violence, instability, and mistrust. The lack of progress toward a comprehensive and just solution continues to fuel resentment, radicalization, and extremism on both sides, further complicating efforts for peace and reconciliation. However, amidst the seemingly insurmountable challenges, there are glimmers of hope. Grassroots peace initiatives, dialogue forums, and people-to-people interactions offer avenues for building bridges of understanding and fostering mutual respect and coexistence. Civil society organizations, human rights activists, and peace advocates continue to work tirelessly to promote dialogue, reconciliation, and justice. Ultimately, resolving the Israel-Palestine conflict requires courageous leadership, genuine commitment to peace, and a willingness to address the root causes of the conflict. It demands recognition of the legitimate rights and aspirations of both Israelis and Palestinians, as well as a shared vision of a future based on mutual respect, dignity, and equality. As we reflect on the complexities and challenges of the Israel-Palestine conflict, let us reaffirm our collective responsibility to work towards a just and lasting peace. Let us stand in solidarity with all those who seek to build a future where Israelis and Palestinians can live side by side in peace, security, and prosperity. Only through genuine dialogue, reconciliation, and cooperation can we hope to achieve the vision of a future free from the shackles of violence and division.